So we've got a 4-phase investment process. Who'd like to learn how to become financially wealthy in the next 8 to 16 years? Who'd like to learn that? Okay, who'd like to learn that? Next, okay, wealthy. I'm not talking about just financially free, wealthy within the next 8 to 16 years.
Like your net worth is like millions, millions, millions.
Okay. There's got to be more of you than that. Otherwise, what the hell are you guys all doing here? Okay, keep it going, keep it going. Okay, good. That's a little bit more like it. Good. So we have a 4-phase investment process. Okay, 4-phase investment process. So phase number 1, we call this the growth phase. Now, this is the phase that many of you are in. Not all of you, okay, because I know that some of you guys are already hit your financial milestones and you're moving into the next phase. Okay, but growth, that is your first phase. Okay, now it is called growth because this is where you're going to be working towards your financial freedom. Okay, this is where you're going to be building your portfolio to a point where you get enough income to get you to a point where you go, okay, I no longer need to work. Okay, that is your growth phase. Now you're going to be doing this through buy-to-lets and HMOs and goodness knows what else. And as part of that, do you think that some of you may need to raise some money to be able to build these portfolios to get you to financial freedom? Do you think that's the case? Yes or no? Okay, I'm looking for responses. So let's keep the responses going. We're almost done for the day. So let's just finish on a high. Okay, yes. Okay, for most of you, let me be clear. I don't care if you've got £1 million in the bank. If you're doing this properly, at some point you're going to need to raise finance. That's where we come in, okay? That's where we shine, helping you raise finance, helping you find deals, helping you build your portfolio. Okay, so number 2, once you have achieved your growth figure, let's just say your financial freedom figure was 2,500, okay? And you managed to build a portfolio where you say, I don't know, 10 buy-to-lets, but you had to use some investor funds. You'll have 2,500 minus the amount you have to pay your investors. Therefore, are you actually truly officially financially free, or have you just hit that milestone in terms of properties owned? Okay. Now, of course, you've hit that milestone in terms of properties owned, not being truly financially free. So we move into phase number 2. Okay. Now, phase number 2 is called consolidate. Now, some of you might have built this portfolio with your own cash, and therefore you do not need to consolidate, and that's okay. But consolidate is basically where you're paying off investors. Paying off. Oh, my writing is terrible. Okay, investors. Now you've done this, okay, and you've paid off your investors, you are officially, genuinely financially free. That's it, you're financially free. You've hit that milestone. Like I say, some of you might get to skip that, okay, but that's it. That's only milestone number 1. That isn't the big game. Please understand, that's the first step where you go, okay, cool, now I'm ready to move, because that's only when the game really starts. Okay, and this is where it starts to get interesting for us, because everything before this is like, man, it's buying some houses, it's okay. Okay, it's after this it gets really fun. So number 3, do you remember number 3?
One before payback. Diversify.
Okay, diversification. So this is where you are buying properties in different parts of the country. You're buying with different strategies. You're investing in different types of investment classes. Okay, you are diversifying your wealth plan. Now, as an example, with this, you might be doing some commercial projects, or you might be doing some large HMOs, or you might be doing some developments. Diversification is your next logical step. Okay. Now, diversification is basically you get different properties.
Yeah, I mean, you have a choice. You can keep building your buy-to-let portfolio if you like. Some people do, but most people get bored, to be honest.
And it is boring.
Yeah, if you've done 10 buy-to-let, and you won't have appetite to get another one in. You'd rather do something else. That's most people's kind of sort of route.
Okay, and then number 4 is payback. Okay, now payback is by far my favorite. And you only do this when you go, look, I am totally set. I'm going to continue to invest, but I don't really need to worry about money ever again, ever. Okay, and this is where you pay off mortgages.
Banks.
Okay, that's how that works. You start paying off your mortgages. Now, let me give you some timelines as to how this works. So typically to get to a point where you own enough properties to be financially free or financially secure, okay, it's 1 to 2 years. It's fairly standard. Now, it can be up to 3 years, depending on who you are, depending what you got going on. It can even be up to 4 years. The point is to get there. But as an average, we tend to find it's 1 to 2 years. Then to be able to consolidate, so to be able to do some flips and joint ventures and whatever else you need to do, to be able to get some more funding in to pay off your investors, we typically find that's around another 1 to 2 years. Then diversification is when you start doing the bigger projects. With bigger projects, do you think that takes more or less time, guys? Okay, bigger projects, do you think that takes more or less time? Okay, more or less time? More, a little bit or a lot? Okay, it's an important question. A little bit or a lot? A lot, exactly. So we typically account for 2 to 4 years for the larger projects. Okay, 2 to 4 years for the larger projects. So you're going to do a series of them and they're all going to collapse one into the other. Okay, and we'll typically allow 2 to 4 years to be able to diversify your portfolio. And then you are paying off your mortgages. Now we typically allow somewhere between 4 to 8 years for this. Let me explain how this works. So let's just say from phase number 1, you got your cash flow up to 2,500. Okay, minus angels, your investors. Then phase number 2, you got your cash flow up to 2,500 total. So now you're officially properly financially secure or financially free, however you want to name it or call it. Then phase number 3, okay, phase number 3 is where you diversify. When you diversify, what do you think is going to happen to your cash flow? Is it going to go up a little or a lot? Okay, a little or a lot? A little or a lot? Wow.
I know, I'm struggling to get words out as well.
Okay, it goes up by a lot. Exactly, you're doing larger projects. So let's just say you do a few of these, you get your cash flow up to, I don't know, 9,000 a month. Okay, total. But how much do you need to survive on a monthly basis? How much do you need to survive on a monthly basis? We've already established it over here. Okay, you need 2,500. But of course, you don't want to do all this work and sit there and lead a life of, poverty and just leading on the breadline. So what you're probably going to do is you're going to say, well, out of my 9,000, I'm going to minus 3,500 for me to live a comfortable life on, which gives me a net total of 5,500 every month just on the existing investments, not even the further investments, not even the large flips, not even the commercial sales, like none of that stuff, purely based on cash flow. You're making another 5,500 a month. Where do you send that money? And this is where it gets interesting. Where do you think you can send that money? No.
You can, but...
You can, okay? But at this point, when you go, okay, great, look, I'm earning some serious cash every month. I don't need to earn any more. 10 grand I tend to find is enough. Let me be clear. Okay, then you can send some of that money that you no longer need, that you go, look, well, I don't really need it every month. It's either going into investments or I can just pay off some mortgages. You can then send that money to pay off your mortgages. Now, if you keep doing that, your mortgages will come down very quickly. And the trick is you pay off the lowest value mortgage first. So then you have more money to pay off towards the next lowest mortgage, and then you pay that one off, then you have more money towards the next lowest mortgage. And by the time you get to the end of paying off your mortgages, you'll probably be sending somewhere like 8K, something like that, as an example, towards your mortgages extra each month. Do you think that your mortgage debt will come down very quickly if you're doing this alongside doing flips and other sort of stuff? It will come down crazy fast. Crazy fast. Now, once that is done, okay, what do you think is likely to happen to your cash flow now that you no longer have mortgages to pay on the money, Joanna? Okay, your cash flow goes skyrocketing. Say you're earning 15K a month. And are you going to stop investing? No. You're going to continue. This time you're just going to go, well, I've got enough cash. I don't need to worry about it. Why do I need to get lending? Let me just buy this for cash. Let me get involved in that project for cash. Let me go to, and you just do projects as and when you want for cash because you no longer need to worry.